Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports here on the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. With me, as always, is Ryan, and then we got Jake and Tim. We're see. So Tim, let's see. Let's see
real quick. I got a little surprise for you guys since we make fun of Jake.
Oh, he's got the BSing onesie on.
Hello, the BSing shirt on.
Yeah,
he's got the BSing onesie.
Yeah,
we'll do the moment of silence here in a second.
Love that.
Lucas, hold the
camera. Go full Lion King and hold the baby up to the camera, please. Thank you.
That is good looking. That is a good looking kid, Tim. Good job.
Proud of you, bud.
Excellent. That is a fantastic looking kid right there. We love to see that.
All right. We can make fun of Jake now.
For those of you who don't know, I went up and saw my. Before we get into that, for those of you who don't know, I went up and saw my new nephew. Timmy is my brother. My new nephew. Shortly after he was, born, and my wife and I made him a bunch of onesies. That was one of them. I didn't think he was going to grow into it that fast. He's growing pretty quick.
He is. It's a little bit big on him still, but he's growing to it.
Looks great. All right, let's go to our moment of silence, everybody.
Let's take 5 seconds. 5 seconds, moment of silence.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's get into it. Jake,
the real question.
Why'd you take the Broncos, man?
So here's how I look at it. So loser has to buy the team that they hates, shirt, jersey, whatever. And the way I think about it is, Bill, you are so far behind that I have to make it somewhat interesting. And you all took the Chiefs, so why not take the Broncos? I mean, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. And worse, they lose. Oh, well, we're used to it.
Listen, I realize that I'm in the basement right now.
Hey, you know why Bill's so far behind this year? Because you know why Bill's so far behind this year, Tim?
He can't fucking cheat.
Hey, this is a kid's show.
But hey, one more time.
I'm not effing cheating.
Hey, one more time. Why? Why did you pick the Broncos? Why did you pick the Broncos?
Honestly, it's just because I love pain. Like, if we're being honest, I just love to be disappointed.
It would seem that way, yeah. All right, let's get into it. For those of you who've been following along, we're doing our prediction show tonight. I'm in the basement at 112 and 113. I'm the only one that's not, above 500. Next up is Jake and Ryan. They are tied at 121 and 104, and Tim is way out in the lead at 127 and 98. Who would have predicted that Tim would be at this stage? Now, listen, I'm one good week versus your guys' mediocre weeks away from being right back in this. I'm not that nervous, but I did learn my lesson last week. I did so much research and shat the bed. I'm not doing any research. I'm winging it. I'm looking at it and going.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, make your picks at 2 a.m. feeding your baby.
I make my picks at 6 p.m. when I'm on my show, dude.
Hey.
2 p.m. 2 a.m. I'm sorry, 2 a.m. Not 2 p.m. 2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. The only time that I look at this document before the show is when I'm making my DFS lineups. That's it. I don't even really look.
I want to give some quick shout outs here in the chat before we get going. Red Jet beat us here to the show. She was commenting before we even started. Red Jet, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. We got Jones A. Hello, boys. How y'all doing? Everett Golson says, "Where's Jake Krogan?" Jones A says, "Hi, baby." Red Jet says, "That's hilarious." Alan J. Floyd says, "Zach was the better Wilson." Zach was the better Wilson. And the Broncos haven't beaten the Chiefs since 2015. And I'm not trying, or Timmy's not trying to have to wear Cowboys gear again. For those of you who weren't here last year, Tim lost, had to wear Cowboys gear. So let's get into it. First game. Ravens are visiting the Titans. 4.5-point favorites are the Ravens. The over-under is 41.5. Ravens coming in at 3-2.
Hey, not really visiting the Titans. It's in London.
Gotcha. Ravens are coming in at 3-2. Titans are 2-3. Tim, you get first pick apparently.
Oh, I was not prepared.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, I think I'm going to go with the Titans. I think if they use Derrick Henry, they've been doing the last couple of weeks, giving him the ball more. He's even throwing touchdown passes left and right. So, I don't think the Ravens
Told you it was
defense
his.
is doing what?
I was telling Jake, I told you it was Ryan's before the show. Sorry, Timmy, continue.
I think I don't think the Ravens defense is all that good. They've been getting beat by mediocre teams, and Titans is a mediocre team. So give me the Titans and go over.
Titans and
They're
over.
getting 1.5 points.
Ryan, pick number 2, buddy.
I'm going to take the Ravens here. I do like the Titans, though, so I don't think that the Ravens cover here necessarily on the even field in London. Lamar Jackson's kind of been plagued by some really, really ugly drops from his receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, Rashad Bateman had a drop in the end zone. Zay Flowers had a bad drop on a third down last week. So it's just been a ton of just no help from Lamar. But on the other side of the coin, like you touched on, Derrick Henry's usage has been up and down. I know Tajay Spears has looked pretty good in the passing game, but it's how consistent is that passing game going to be? So I'm taking the Ravens to not cover, and I'm taking the under here. I don't, really particularly like either of these offenses right now.
Looks like I get the next pick here. I agree with a lot of what Ryan said. I don't care for either offense right now. I will agree that the Titans have started to kind of sort of look like the Titans of old by giving Derrick Henry the ball a lot more, which, I mean, honestly, is their only chance at surviving any team.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going with the Ravens here on the neutral territory. Not for anything specific other than Lamar is the quarterback of the Ravens and Tannehill's the quarterback of the Titans. That's essentially why I'm taking the Ravens. But I also don't think they cover. I think it's a 3-point game, and I'm going to stick with the under. So Ryan and I are going to pick the same thing here.
Excellent. Just the way I like it.
So I love Lamar and this offense. I thought he was going to be good, and so far he has just not shown up at all. The Titans are a well-coached ball team, and so with that being said, I think the Titans actually pull an upset here in London, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think either offense gets going. D-Hop gets the ball. He gets all the target shares. Burks is out
again.
I'm pretty sure.
He's out
Burks
again.
is out.
And
He was
so
on IR.
with that being said, the Ravens secondary has kind of been in shambles the last couple of weeks, not been good. And so I'm taking the Titans and the under.
All right, 3 unders, 1 over. I like it. The next matchup, we have the Washington Commanders at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are favored by 2.5 points. Over under is 42.5. Commanders coming in at 2-3. Falcons sitting at 3-2 in the South there. Ryan, you get first pick.
I'll take the Commanders here. I'm not entirely comfortable with that pick, but as I touched on before we went live, this slate of games this week is just terrible. I mean, up and down, there's just a bunch of bad games everywhere. So lots of low over-unders, better offenses playing on the road here. So, go ahead, give me the Commanders here. I think that they're a better organization right now. I think that they kind of have an idea of what they're doing, versus the Falcons. And I just think that the Commanders are an overall better team. That being said, I do think that they cover a 2.5 point spread. I mean, if you're going to bet on the underdog, you might as well bet on them to cover, right? And then I'm going to take the over here. I think it's actually pretty offensive this week.
Real quick though, and Brand, it don't matter what he's drinking because you can't have any of it.
It's my fun juice, and my whole thought process is week 1, I was intoxicated when I made all my picks, and I won that week. So why not?
He did. It's true. He did. I have the next pick. Ryan and I are going to agree here yet again. I've got the Commanders coming out victorious. I've seen some things from Sam Howell that have been extremely promising. Now I've also seen things that is not so promising, like getting sacked a million times. But you know what? No, I've gone against the Falcons 3 weeks in a row and been wrong. I'm going with the Falcons here. Falcons are the home team. They're sitting at 3-2. I think they're going to win by 3, so I got them to cover. And 42.5. I'm going to go over. I feel like the Falcons have been getting somewhere between 20, 24 points a game, and they're always close games. So give me the over.
I mean, it makes sense when they throw the ball to Drake London and Kyle Pitts. They make plays.
Pitts is still being underutilized. He is by far the best talent on that roster. Maybe
No doubt.
but still, and they are not utilizing. If he was on a team with a quarterback that could get him the football, we'd be talking about Travis Kelce, Kyle Pitts.
I mean, his rookie year with Matt Ryan, he went for over 1,000 yards, was
Correct.
an amazing tight end in fantasy and just normal, and he hasn't been anything ever since he left.
And Ryan wasn't even good that year. Like, let's be honest about it. For all of those watching on the YouTube, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have friends, share it for us. Let's get them in here. Let's get them to subscribe. Thank you again to Orphan Rivers on Bandcamp for our intro music. I forget to talk to it every week, and I'm sorry. But again, thank you for the intro music. And Jake, it's your pick, bud.
Yeah, with this, I love Sam Howell. The Commanders, I don't like the Falcons. All they do is run the ball. They don't utilize their best players in Drake London and Kyle Pitts. And to me, the Commander secondary are just going to stick to glue, and Ritter's going to throw an interception. It's going to happen. I think this is a low-scoring game. I have the Commanders to cover and the under. But
Tim?
Yeah, I just think the Falcons, until Arthur Smith's gone, they won't win. Even if they're 3-2.
Ryan and Jake here. I'm going to take the Commanders to cover and go under.
Well, Ryan said
I
over,
said
so
over.
That's a good.
I'm going to go with Jake. Sorry, Ryan.
Any reason,
No,
or
I
you
mean,
just
look? I mean, Bijan Robinson's not a bad player too, right?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I think they've been utilizing really well. They cut the targets off of Tyler Algier down. He's been getting 80% of the snap share in the backfield, and he's producing. Like, he's doing what he can to get his offense to the first down to keep going. It's all up to Desmond Riddle now to do better.
Yeah, it really is on Desmond Ritter. They've established the running game.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yep.
Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are favorited at home by 2.5 points. Keep in mind, when you're the home team, you typically get 3. Over-under is 45.5. Oh, it's me. Listen,
wow, unprepared. Man, imagine that.
No, I'm going. Yeah, honestly, if this game was in Seattle, I would go with Seattle. But them playing in Cincinnati, I gotta rely on Joe Burrow here to get it done. Now, listen, this is not taking anything away from Seattle. They've played some really, really good football this year. But I think you guys said it last week. You think last week was the week that the Bengals kind of sort of figure it out and they get moving, and they sure did. And until I see them slow down, I think I'm going to probably lean on the Bengals here. So I've got the Bengals. I've got them to cover because 2.5 points is nothing. And I'm gonna pick the over here. I think 45.5 is definitely not enough. So yeah, give me the Bengals to cover and the over, Jake.
Man, I'm taking all the underdogs this week. It looks like Broncos, Titans, Commanders, and I'm going to go with Seattle here. The Bengals have not proved anything to me. They looked good last week. I want to see them stack it. I want to see them continue to build off of that. But T. Higgins is still out, so all they have is Jamar Chase there in my eyes.
T. Higgins practiced in full yesterday. He's playing.
Oh, is he? Oh, well, that still didn't change my answer. I like the Seahawks here. I think they are a more well-rounded team, and I still see it going under. Seahawks coming off of a bye. I think they start out slow, and just if the Bengals can stack 2, I will change my tune to that. But also, I have a group of friends outside. They're making this a drinking game. They wouldn't tell me the rules, so I'm just going to go with Raiders suck. Gingy moved out, and I love you, Danielle, and we'll see if any of them have to drink after that.
All right.
Can I double down on the Raiders suck?
Are they all streaming on their own individual devices so that I can get more views on YouTube?
I told them to, so let's hope so.
All right. Well, if they are, I haven't gotten any new subscribers, so please subscribe. I can't say it enough times. If you are watching on anything other than YouTube, please go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel.
And just if you're watching on Facebook too. It's very easy support and it's free. Takes a couple seconds.
Like and share. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sharing's a bonus.
Yeah. Tim, you are up on this pick, bud.
When I was making my CBS Pick'em League, this game caught my eye. Was probably one of the better games of the week. I think
Thank you, Daniel.
the way Joe Burrow utilized Jamar Chase without T. Higgins last week is really good. And I think he's going to continue doing that and utilize T. Higgins with it now. So give me the Bengals to cover and to go over. I think it could be a high-scoring game.
All right, same thing as me on
Yeah,
that
I
one,
do
Ryan.
need Jamar Chase to go off because I need to smash you in auto. That would be nice. But I'm actually here with Jake, man. I'm taking the Seahawks coming off of a bye. I think the Seahawks have looked like a better team through the first month of the season. They look better on both sides of the ball. I know the defense, especially the secondary, is kind of taking a step back from last year. But all in all, right now, they've just shown me more consistency. Yes, I did predict that the Bengals offense would get back on track against Arizona, but Arizona and Seattle are not the same team, and Seattle's had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. So go ahead and give me the Seahawks here, and I think it smashes the over. I actually think that 45.5 is a pretty low number as well.
See, when I looked at it, I also said 45.5 ain't enough points, and it was like one of the first things that jumped off the page at me.
I see high 20s for both teams.
Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are favored by 4.5 points. Keep in mind, Anthony Richardson is not playing. It'll be the Gardner Minshew show. Over-under is 44.5. Jake.
Oh, man. See, this one's a tough one because we all know I love Gardner Minshew. He knows how to run that offense. He was in that offense last year with the Eagles. He has a ton of weapons. Josh Downs has showed out. He has Michael Pittman. Jonathan Taylor's back, and Zach Moss has just been outstanding this year. So, once again, I'm going underdog here. I'm going Colts, and I have an over on this one. I see like a 28-24 ball game. And so, even if the Jags win, that's still 4 points. So I get the hook, and I win 2-1.
Just so you guys know, the viewers, I'm sure you guys have already seen. I'm trying to put all your comments on here. If Ryan or I don't specifically mention them, I apologize. But we are going to try and show all the comments that come through. So thank you again. Please subscribe. Tim, you're up.
So week 1 was the Jags versus the Colts, and it was a really good game in Indianapolis. I also think it's a good game in Jacksonville. I just think the Colts can't stop Calvin Ridley right now. He's on a different level that no one thought he would be. Well, me and Brian didn't think he would be at. So give me the Jags to cover the 4.5, and I definitely think he goes over. I don't think Gardner Minshew is that good.
Jags covering over?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take the Jags here as well. I like your point that I think it's going to be a good game because week 1 was also a good game. However, I think the Jags cover here, and I do think it goes over. I think this is going to be one of probably the 4 good games on the slate this week. Look, Jacksonville has kind of, been a little up and down to start the season. Trevor Lawrence hasn't really looked like himself that we saw at the end of last year so far. However, I think, back-to-back W's in London, finally coming home. I think that they'll get settled in right here. And I think the Colts, down Anthony Richardson. I mean, Gardner Minshew can play. I agree with Jake. He's been in this system before. He was with Shane Steichen in Philadelphia last year, so it's not like he doesn't know the offense. But Anthony Richardson brings a different dynamic to the ball club. So I'm going to take the Jags to cover, and I expect to go over because neither defense has been stellar. I think we've got a couple of mid defenses here in this game.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going with the Jaguars too. And part of the reason I'm going with the Jaguars is how they handled the Buffalo Bills last week. That Buffalo Bills team came off of a whooping that they laid on Miami, who we thought was one of the best 2 teams in football at the time. So, and I get it, the jet lag situation because the Bills had to go to England, and Jacksonville stayed there and everything. But the Jaguars looked good while they were handling Buffalo. So I'm going to stick with the Jaguars on this one. And I also believe that they cover, and I think they go over. Listen, I like Gardner Minshew. Yes, he's in his second year in that offense, but there's a reason he's the backup quarterback.
Well, because they use a first-round draft pick on a quarterback. That's why he is.
I've seen teams do that and then let the guy ride the bench for a season behind a guy who was better than him. There's a reason he's a backup quarterback. Yeah, so
Trey
there's
Lance is
there's
a good example.
yeah Jamarcus Russell jumps off the page at me. Just because you're picked in the first round, don't mean you can play football.
Guys, you're missing the most obvious one. Patrick Mahomes sat for a whole year, and he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
And there you go.
Yeah.
So for me,
He's
there's
all
a
right.
reason Gardner's the backup.
He's
I
mid.
do think it's going to be. I do think it's going to be a he's mid. He says, and you like your guy, right? Russell Wilson, who looks like a shell ghost of the guy he used to be.
I don't want him on the team.
Well, he is.
I don't want
Good for you,
him.
little buddy.
Thanks for Caleb. Bring it on. Give me Caleb.
But yeah, no, I do in fact have the Jaguars to cover and the over. Alan Floyd, thanks for joining in. No Raider slander, please. Still healing. Red Jet says she's picked Miami for the next one, which is the Carolina Panthers visiting the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 13.5 points. It's always a big spread when you see something like that. Over under 47.5.
Right, so we all picked the Dolphins. Let's just get with cover, no cover, over under.
I don't know.
Yep,
I have all underdogs right now.
Tim, you're up.
All right, yeah. Actually, you go ahead and pick the Panthers. You do that.
Give me the Dolphins to cover. I think and go over. I think they score another 35 points themselves and garbage time touchdown for the Panthers like last week.
Oh, that is some rocket, amazing performance you're performing there.
What happened?
I'm so confused.
It's it's a mug from the Hogs Head Inn from Universal Orlando for Harry Potter World. And loves me enough that she brought me an adult beverage.
Patriots offense loading.
Yeah, so obviously I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I know it's buffering. Patriots offense is loading. Might take all season, but maybe they'll get there. I'm picking the Dolphins as well. And normally my MO is to pick that teams like this don't cover because 13.5 point spread in the NFL is just absolutely ridiculous. However, this is probably going to be one of those scenarios where they do cover. So I am going to pick them to cover the ridiculous spread. And I predict an under, actually. I think that Miami opens up this game so early and keeps the game open so much that neither team, I'm like 35-10, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's the first score that jumps off the page at me. So I'm going to take the under there.
I'm going with the Dolphins to cover and the over for a similar reason that you mentioned, but you think they're going to go in cruise control, the Dolphins that is, and I don't think they go in cruise control. I think they continue to lay it on. I would not be surprised if the Dolphins get close to this 47 points by themselves. And then you have to assume
35 points is cruise control.
Maybe, but I still foresee the Dolphins really laying a beat down on the Panthers here. I'm not saying they're going to put up 70 like they did against the Broncos. 70 against
we had
the
to
Broncos.
go there. That was necessary.
70 against the Broncos. But I do feel like the Dolphins probably get close to this 47 by themselves. So yeah, give me the Dolphins to cover and the over.
Yeah, I think Vegas with that high point spread wants you to take them not to cover, but I think the Dolphins are just the way better team here. And the Panthers, like, you can go Adam Thielen anytime touchdown if you're betting it, and that's probably a safe bet. The Dolphins defense still isn't the best out there. So I'm taking the Dolphins to cover in the over.
All right,
Real quick,
3 Dolphin cover over, 1 Dolphin cover under.
Real quick, what was that? What was that team? The Miami Dolphins scored 70 points against.
The Broncos.
Just wanted to clarify.
Today's drinking is brought to you by Samuel Adams Oktoberfest.
No, it
ain't.
No,
it is not.
It is not.
No. Vikings at Bears.
Until they tell me I can do that, we ain't doing that.
No, my bad.
No, it's
fine.
fine.
Pay us to do that.
Well, yeah, that too. Fortunately, I got the license, so we're protected. But please, let's not get me in trouble.
I
Minnesota Vikings visiting the Chicago Bears. 2.5 point favorites are the Vikings. Over under 44.5. Ryan, you get first go on this one, pal.
Good, because I'm going to drop an interesting piece of news. So the Vikings are going to, in 4 weeks, at the end of Justin Jefferson's minimum IR tenure, they're going to reevaluate his hamstring to see how much longer he is out for So it doesn't sound like he's coming back after the minimum 4 games.
Oof.
That's according to Schefter. But I'm still picking Minnesota here. The Bears looked better in recent weeks. I'll give them that. They've played well offensively against the Broncos and then seemingly pulled the Broncos against the Broncos and absolutely collapsed underneath themselves. They've, played pretty well against the Commanders. So I'm not taking anything away from them, but I like the Vikings still. I like Kirk Cousins is committed to the team, as I just talked with Bill about before the show. Kirk Cousins come out and said he is not going to waive his no trade clause, so he is very committed to Minnesota, and I expect the team to kind of ride that hype and take the victory here. So give me the Vikings to cover, and I expect over. I don't think either, especially the Bears, but I don't think either of these defenses are that good. So.
All right, Ryan takes Vikings covering the over. I'm just going to copy and paste. Until the Bears put it together consistently and, stay with it consistently, giving up a 28-point lead to the Broncos is just absolutely horrendous and pathetic because that Broncos team is horrendous and pathetic by themselves. Did I get you enough there? Did I get you enough? But no, yes. Listen, Kirk Cousins being committed to the team is a big deal. I'm going to 100% you can't take away from the fact that Justin Jefferson is obviously a phenomenal talent at wide receiver and he's going to be missed, but I think Cousins gets it done, Dude's a scrub, Ryan says. So no, I think Cousins does in fact get it done. And the Vikings come out victorious here. It is technically a division rival situation, so probably still going to be a good game. But yeah, 44.5 still seems low for me. So yeah, give me the Vikings to cover and the over. Jakey Poo?
I'm riding with the underdog story here. I think the Bears have kind of figured it out. They've back-to-back weeks.
Definitely catching Jake this week.
Probably. But no, the Bears' offenses look good. They've put up points against the Commanders and Denver. And I mean,
putting up points against Denver isn't hard. Ask Miami.
The Vikings don't have JJ. Who's going to come out? The run game has been suspect at best. And so give me the Bears and the over. DJ Moore has had his come out party. He's ready to play ball, and Justin Fields has realized that he has a great receiver on his hands.
Justin Fields just realized DJ Moore is a good wide receiver.
Yeah, right. Only took 4 weeks.
No, you're not lying though. He definitely found that connection against the Commanders the other night. Whew. 50 points. Thank you. 50 points. Tim, go ahead. It's your pick, bud.
I'm actually going to agree with Jake here. I think the Bears figured it out. Listen,
they're definitely not winning now.
Believe me, I don't want to pick the Broncos riding Jake over here, but I think the Bears figured it out. They started utilizing the run game more. I know both the starting running back and backup running back are both out, concussion and ankle injury. But I think Deontay Foreman is a good enough running back to get downhill yards for them that they need. And let's face it, Justin Fields is a running threat still. And he figured out that Bill said DJ Moore is a good wide receiver. So give me the Bears. They get the point, so good. And give me the over.
Well, you really did just
line right up there. For my college football people out there, Oregon just took the lead against Washington in the fourth quarter.
That a boy does. Let's see. Again, I know I've said it several times. I'm going to keep doing it. If you are watching on YouTube or if you're not watching on YouTube, please go to YouTube, like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends. Please come join BSing Sports. We love you.
Y'all remember the shitty games I was telling you about on this slate? One of them's right here.
San Francisco 49ers are visiting the Cleveland Browns. 7.5-point favorites obviously are the Niners. Over-under is 37.5. Clearly no points being scored there. I mean, I don't think it's a surprise to any of you guys. I'm taking the Niners in this one. That Browns defense is good, but that offense on the Niners is better. So give me the Niners. 7.5 points, definitely to cover. I think they win by 10. And 37.5 points. Correct. Yeah, no Watson. The Browns don't have a chance.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with the over. And honestly, I think the Niners put up 38 by themselves. So bold. Still think it. Niners cover and over. Jakey Poo.
I like it. Yeah, no, with no Deshaun Watson, just Thompson. Man, I can't remember his last name. Their backup
PJ
quarterback.
Walker
It's
starting.
actually PJ Walker. Yeah.
PJ Walker's starting.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, never mind to that. I mean, it's still the 49ers. They're going to cover the 7.5. That offense is just clicking on all cylinders, and they're both good defenses. I think the 49ers haven't scored below 30 points. So I see like a 35-7 ball game or something. So give me the 49ers to cover in the over.
Hey, now, PJ Walker got a win under his belt last year.
Yeah.
But I'm still taking the 49ers to cover, and they go over the 37.5. There's no question about it. That 49ers team is something else. And they just keep getting better each week in and out. I think Chris McCaffrey will have a day against that strong run defense.
A day, he says.
A day.
Yeah.
I'm saying
A day.
100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Look, the only worry I have for this game is Myles Garrett somehow breaks free and kills Purdy. That is the only fear I have.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I did a show on Thursday afternoon with TED Talks Ball over on YouTube. If those of you who are here from TED Talks Ball, like Red Jet Shell, thank you for joining me. And down at the end of the show, he asked which team I thought was better, and I had to give an honest opinion right here, week 5, sitting where we're sitting. I had to tell him the truth, and I thought that at this moment, the Niners are a better team than the Eagles. Not to say the Eagles haven't gotten progressively better every week, because they have.
And the Eagles will still win that matchup in week 11. So
13, yeah, December 3rd, whatever week it is. But yeah,
week 11.
Yeah, I don't remember what week it is. But in any case, Ryan, I know you're taking the 49ers as well.
Yep. I'm taking them to cover. I'm taking the under.
All right. We got
Browns
one under
defense.
on this one.
The Browns defense has been absolutely unreal this year. So while I don't expect anything from their offense and PJ Walker, I could easily see this being a 24-10 game, 24-7, something like that.
Like I said, I'm going to try and get everybody's comments in on here. All right, next game. Here's one of those other ones, right? New Orleans Saints at 3-2 visiting the Houston Texans at 2-3. 1.5 point favorites are the Saints. 42.5 is the over under. Jake.
To me, I have the Saints winning here. I know that CJ Stroud has come out and he's played really good ball. He looks like the best rookie quarterback so far out of that draft class. The run game's not there. The Saints have a stellar defense still. They're hard to play against. So I'm taking the Saints to win, and they'll cover, but I got the game going under. I don't think the Texans are going to be able to put up enough points.
Tim.
Yeah, I like that. I like the Saints defense a lot this year. They've been playing really good ball. Give me the Saints. Hopefully, Derek Carr can figure out how to use Chris Olave so I can beat Ryan and Otto. But hopefully, But other than that, give me the Saints to cover and they go over. I'm sorry, under.
Under.
Making things difficult.
Yeah, so where others zig, I zag. I'm taking the Texans here again. I think that the Texans have been a very pleasant surprise to start the year. I don't trust that Derek Carr's healthy enough. I think that there's something wrong with that shoulder that he injured a few weeks ago. He doesn't look right. Didn't look right last week, not the week before. So I expect that the Texans offense will come out a little bit more consistent than the Saints. Give me the Texans. Obviously, I picked them to cover because they're the underdog, and I expect this to go over. I'm not quite sure about either defense. And CJ Stroud, as you touched on, Jake, has looked phenomenal to start his career. 186 consecutive pass attempts without throwing an interception, which is a rookie record.
It's crazy.
Yes. You said under, right?
Over.
Ryan, you said under? Over, sorry. Okay. I'm going Texans over as well. It's not that I want to agree with Ryan, except that everything he said is spot on and exactly how I viewed it. And I've been extremely impressed with CJ Stroud, number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft. He's looked better than Bryce Young to this point. Now, obviously, circumstance is different, coach is different, system is different, teams you played against is different. But he just looks like he's built for the moment, whereas sometimes Bryce Young doesn't. So I'm going the Texans here. I also have the over because 42.5. I'm looking at a 24-21 game and over. So let's go on to the next one. Ryan was so fast. I'm clicking next to the next one. Patriots at 1-4 visiting the Raiders at 2-3, 3.5 point favors are the Raiders. 41.5 points is the over under.
Me, right?
It is you.
Yep.
All right. So
What a shit game.
I know. Oh, I didn't want to say anything, but yes. What a terror. These teams are freaking pathetic.
Hopefully this pool can get someone a little bit drinking. But I want to say the Raiders suck. So hopefully someone can drink off of that. But the Patriots suck even more.
They do.
And I think Jacoby Myers will have a game, but skip me. I'll come back to me. I gotta go get Maverick.
Go do your thing, brother. All right, so we'll jump right to Ryan on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take over. The Raiders do suck. Patriots do suck worse. There you go. I'm helping you out there, Jake. I don't understand why they keep running back to Mac Jones. He's been benched 2 weeks in a row. At this point, they have to do something to move off of him. The fact that he's starting again is just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. That there's no other word for it other than embarrassing.
This comment is 100% true. This game is for draft picks in 2020.
It's 100% for draft picks.
And honestly, for no other reason other than the home team, I'm picking Vegas. I do think Jacoby Myers has a bit of a revenge game here. I think that he probably feels a little wronged that they signed Juju Smith-Schuster to the same contract that Myers got, and Myers is playing way better than Juju Smith-Schuster is, who isn't even playing right now. He's on IR. But I don't know whether to take the over or the under. Is Mac Jones even going to make it the whole game? Like I'm taking the under. I don't like either of these teams. I'll be happy to be completely wrong about this and not care less.
You got them to cover the 3.5 point spread though?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. Tim, you want to finish yours? I know you took the Raiders, but I didn't get your cover or over or under.
I have no in-depth analysis.
The Raiders been putting up some points last couple of weeks, 20 some points, not a lot, 20 points here and there. So give me the Raiders. Give me the cover. And give me the under. The Raiders suck, but like I said before, the Patriots suck even more.
Jake's friends in your drinking game. Listen up. Raiders suck. 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 The Patriots suck more. They just do. Listen, there's like a universal conversation right now going on about whether or not Bill Belichick is going to be there next year. I got news for you. No, he's not. Bill Belichick will not be in New England next year. That's my hot take. Yes or no? Don't care. Bill Belichick won't be a Patriots on the Patriots next year. So thank you, Ryan, for taking over real quick while I'm doing my pick. So I am going to go the Raiders here, and for no other reason than they're the home team, and I think they win by 6. So that's cover, and I also no, you know what? I will go the over, but not confidently, just because I have to be a little bit different than Ryan and Tim.
No, you don't.
Yeah, right here I do. So Jakey Poo, did you get to watch everybody drink when I did that?
No, sadly I'm downstairs and they're all outside, so I don't get to see them, and I don't even know the rules. I just assume that's one of them. But the Raiders do suck, and so Alan James Floyd is
Ricky. Thanks for joining us
in the comments here, and one of my close friends, I think Alan likes her a little more than me. Her name's Erin, and she's a Patriots fan, so we've got to talk a little shit here. And I just like her more than him, so I'm strictly making this pick off of I want the Patriots to win because the Raiders suck. And I think this game goes under. And that is solely how I'm picking this game.
I just think it's amazing the criteria that we all used to pick this game doesn't really have shit to do with football. This game is awful.
This really is just an awful, awful matchup. All right, let's move on to the next one. Philadelphia Eagles at 5-0 visiting the New York Jets. I almost did it. I didn't do it. New York Jets.
You wanted to.
2-3. I did want to. At 2-3, 7.5 point favorites are the Eagles. 41.5 is the over/under. Ryan, you get to pick the Eagles game this week.
Oh, this is easy. I'm picking the Eagles all day. I'm picking the team whose primary color is green. Write that in the document so that way I can't lose. But, yeah, I'm taking the Eagles here. I'm actually taking them to cover. I know it's a bit of a big spread on the road. However, with DJ Reed and both Sauce Gardner being out, I don't expect a lot from the defense. They are already bad against the run, and being down their two best cornerbacks, now I expect them to be bad against the pass too. So I expect the Eagles offense to have a little bit of a field day that you touched on, Bill. They're getting a little bit better each week. I expect another Dallas Goedert game. With the Jets being, I think, the second or third worst team against tight ends in the NFL so far. Give me the Eagles here over cover, and I expect them to go over. I expect them to do this pretty comfortably.
Yeah, listen, I know the Eagles are missing Jalen Carter and Darius Slay on defense. However, Zach Wilson is still the quarterback for the Jets. That's how I feel.
He looked better the last couple of weeks.
No,
hey, Zach Wilson's the better Wilson.
Yeah, he was that. Yeah, but I don't know anybody who's going to look at this game and think to themselves, "Yeah, the Jets could come away with a win." Because I don't think for John LaFontaine, thanks for joining us, buddy. I don't think the Jets have a chance at all in staying in this game. And I think you fantasy owners who were a little bit pissed off at Devontae Smith last week, I think you should probably start Devontae Smith this week. So I've got the Eagles to cover and for it to go over as well. I would not be surprised if the Eagles put up 38 points by themselves.
Oh, good. I'm playing Devontae Smith against Ryan.
Everybody you're starting in auto, I'm starting in DT, and I need to win that one too.
You take an L, it happens.
This one's simple to me. It's the Eagles, no questions about it. Zach Wilson, the Eagles' defensive line is going to destroy the Jets' offensive line, which is just terrible. They're just trying to fill spots and trying to get a competent offensive line. So the Eagles are going to win. My question is will it go over or under? And I'm just going to take the under. I don't think the Jets put up any points. I wouldn't be shocked if they get shut out this game. And
that's tough to do in the NFL, get a shutout.
It is, but yes, Zach Wilson has looked better, but look at the competition. He played the Broncos. Yes, the Broncos suck, but the Raiders suck
and the
more.
Chiefs.
And the Chiefs.
Actually, based on record, the Broncos suck.
Stop. We don't do the record thing. No, that's fine. Records are just for winners. Losers.
Yeah, like the record that the Miami Dolphins set against the Broncos when they scored 70 points.
70 points.
You beat me to it, Ryan. I was going to say, yeah, it's hard to get shut out in the NFL, but it's also harder to score 70 points.
Hold on. Wait a second. I noticed Jake's been drinking every time we bring that up. Is that part of the game?
No, it's not part of the game. I'm not a part of this game. Just anytime.
That would have been funny if we just found the encryption.
No, I'm just literally drinking because it hurts. And
let's test it. Let's test it.
Let's test it.
Miami scored 70 on your team.
Cheers, buddy.
It is.
It's got to be.
It's not, but I mean, if y'all want me to finish my beer, you know what to do. So,
yeah. Tim, what's your pick on this one? Obviously, you're going with the Eagles. What else you got?
I just want to say Miami won't be scoring 70 points this week, but give me the Eagles. I think they covered 7.5. The Jets still have a good defense, in my opinion. I don't think it would go over.
All those guys out.
I still don't think it go over. That defensive line is actually kind of sneaky good.
Okay, under. Next game on the docket, we've got the Detroit Lions, who I am pleasantly surprised by this season at 4-1, visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. also pleasantly surprised by at 3-1. 3.5 point favorites are the Lions. 42.5 is the over under. I'm going with the Lions in Tampa. I think they cover the 3.5 point spread. And I think this game goes over. Listen, I'm going to give kudos here to Baker Mayfield a little bit. He has looked better, like significantly better in this Tampa system than he had in pretty much any other system he was in. Let's not forget this guy took Cleveland to their first playoff game, won their first playoff game in what was it, like 30 years or some stuff like that. He's not a bad quarterback. They gave up on him. There were some like internal struggles, and then obviously they went and got the Deshaun Watson for whatever freaking reason they went and did that. But no, Baker Mayfield's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and I would stand by that. Definitely deserves to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Buccaneers felt like that. They're sitting at 3-1. They're not going to get it done. Jared Goff has looked really, really good. Amon-Ra St. Brown is playing this week. Jamison Williams had another week under his belt. The Jahmyr Gibbs is hurt, but Monty has looked fantastic in Detroit. Give me the Lions to cover that 3.5 point spread, and 42.5 just isn't going to cut it for me. So definitely going over. Jake.
Yeah, no, I love seeing the Lions play right now. I love seeing them play well. They are a well-coached football team, and they believe. And I think that's the big thing right now, and that's why they're winning, is they believe that they can win with the team they have. And so the Bucs have been playing well, like you said. I agree with everything you said. I'm shocked that the Buccaneers are 3-1, but Baker Mayfield is not a bad player. He had the shoulder injury, and I think that took time for him to learn how to throw again with that. And the Browns moved on from him. But I have the Lions winning. I think they are the better ball club. Montgomery is a bell cow.
Out of his mind right now.
He's here. And with that being said, the Raiders do suck, so I'm just going to go Lions. And
I like you stuck that in there.
And I'm man, the over-under's hard because
the Raiders suck, or
no, I got to rely on the Buccaneers to score points, I think. I'm going to go over just because betting the under just doesn't seem right.
Man.
Oh, and also Jones, thank you. I'm very parched, if you will.
Just so we're on the same page, Jones is my beautiful wife, Allie.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm very parched.
Yeah, you could just call her Allie. It's cool. I used to introduce her as my first wife, Allie, and she got mad at that, so I stopped doing it. Tim, your pick, bud.
The Buccaneers are coming off a bye. They had 2 weeks to prep for this game.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take the Buccaneers in this game.
Damn you! You stole my thunder.
The Lions are due for a loss. They're playing real good football now. They're playing real good football. I think the Buccaneers have really good time to prep for this game. I think it goes over 42.5.
Buccaneers and over. I don't dislike it. Like I said, I openly said I'm pleasantly surprised by the Buccaneers, so I don't hate it.
2 words, ladies and gentlemen. Trap game. This screams of a trap game. Bucks have had 2 weeks to prepare. Lions coming in off a huge victory against Carolina, steamrolled them, absolutely dismantled them. I'm taking the Bucks here, and I'm taking the over. I think it's an offensive shootout.
And I kind of want to take the Bucks now. Well, good news is I have till 11:30
here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get a real thriller on this one. Next game, the Arizona Cardinals at 1-4 visiting the Los Angeles Rams at 2-3. Rams are 7.5 point favorites. 48.5 is the over under. Jake, you get first fly at this one.
First and foremost, the Raiders suck, and second of all, hashtag Puka Nuke. Puka Nakua. He's it. He's what they look for. He was the OBJ when the Rams won. And Cup's back. Kieran Williams looks really good. And the Cardinals, they've played good ball. They've played close, which is why I'm taking the Rams to win, not to cover. And I'm taking the under. 48.5 is just too much to me for this. I don't trust the Cardinals offense to score, even though the Rams defense is terrible. And but yeah, should be a good one. Man, Tim Hawkins, you're there, buddy. You just hop on that bandwagon.
Tim, just so you know, the Raiders suck, and it's your pick.
I
I
know
really
the
hope Alan Floyd is drinking right now.
I definitely know the Raiders suck. You don't gotta tell me. But the Cardinals suck too. They've been playing good football though. The Rams, I'm taking the Rams. I think Cooper Kupp had the bigger game than what he had last week. So
He had
give me the
113
Rams,
yards last week.
and I think he goes for 200 this week.
That's a bold one.
Give me the Rams 7.5 to cover, and I think it goes over. The Cardinals been scoring some points, but I'm willing to put a game, take a game of my winnings off if you don't skip 200 yards.
No, we're not doing that this year because last year the math got so complicated. We're sticking with
That's
what
fine.
we got.
That's fine.
Yeah, give me the Rams here to win. I don't think that they cover. I'm actually just going to pretty much copy and paste what Jake said. I don't trust the Cardinals offense necessarily. I know they've had their high points in the season, but ultimately, you know, with Josh Dobbs at quarterback, it's not a Kyler Murray offense. So the faith for me to sit here and say, yes, they're going to be able to keep up with the Rams offense, who, you know, on paper looks pretty good. And now they're coming back healthy. I expect the Rams to win this one, but it'll be close because it's those weird divisional battles.
Before I get into mine, why don't you answer this one for Tim, Ryan?
Give me Notre Dame there, buddy. I like it. All can be forgiven in the Notre Dame fandom world if we beat USC every year, because God, I can't stand USC.
Yep.
I also am not a USC fan. I also don't like Ohio State. Having said that,
Remember
I've also got the Rams to not
Don't
cover
say
and the
Ohio
under.
State should have won that game.
Sorry, little buddy. But I've also got the Rams. I've got them not to cover, and I've also taken the under on this one. While I do think that the Cardinals have been putting up points and the Rams have been kind of putting up points. What I saw from the Rams last week against the Eagles was a team that was extremely competitive until they couldn't keep the offense on the field and then couldn't get the defense off the field, which, I mean, obviously is a losing formula every time. But I really, guy?
It's my party trick.
No, it's fine. It's whatever. But yeah, so I've got the Rams not to cover, and you completely threw me off. I have no idea what I was saying. Forget it now at this point. Rams not to cover and the under.
To interject real quick, the Washington Huskies just got stood up at the goal line. So Oregon has the ball up 33-29 in the fourth quarter. 6:33
6
left to
minutes,
play.
30 seconds left.
Very nice. Very nice. Timmy, you get first pick on the next card, buddy. You got the New York Giants, who are just looking visiting the Buffalo Bills.
Tyrod
Bills.
Taylor, baby.
It is Tyrod Taylor's show, correct. Visiting the Buffalo Bills at 3-2, 14.5 point favorites are the Buffalo Bills. 45.5 is the over-under. The Raiders suck. Tim, go ahead.
Now, I was happy Daniel Jones is out because I can pick up a quarterback in 3 leagues that I need him because it's on Watson is out. So I was happy with that. But give me the Bills. I think they cover. I think that it's going to blow them outright. I think they score most of the 45 points themselves. So give me the Bills to cover and over.
Ryan.
Give me the Bills. Obviously, they're the better football team. I don't think that they cover, though. They are ravishly hurt on defense right now. I mean, everybody is just the pass rush is gone. Trey White's out. Their second corner is out as well. I can't remember his name. I mean, they're just so badly hurt on defense right now. So I think that they win this game. I think it's semi-comfortably. I don't think that they cover, though. I could see a 10-point victory, though, pretty easily. And I expect this game to go over. Look, Tyrod Taylor finally got Tyrod Taylored in the sense that somebody else got hurt to give him a chance instead of him getting hurt to give somebody else a chance. Happened to him in Buffalo, happened to him in LA. It happens everywhere he goes. He just manages to get himself hurt, and then the backup plays way better. And it's like, okay, well, we're done with you, Tyrod. So he finally gets Tyrod tailored. He gets a chance. He's never really been that bad of a quarterback. He just hasn't been able to stay on the field. So asking him to win a couple games here for the Giants, I don't know that he'll win a couple games, but he'll at least play decent enough. So I think that this game goes over.
All right, so Bills not to cover and the over. Tim Hawkins, to answer your question, how many times he gets sacked? That is a terrible and a putrid offensive line there in New York. I've got Tyrod being sacked somewhere around if 4.5 is the over-under, I'm going with the over.
It has to be higher than that.
Yeah,
I don't know. 6.5 is the over-under.
And that's crazy to think that they're predicting.
Know that it is. The Bills are without 2 of their 4 starting defensive linemen. They're without their cover corners.
Okay.
I'm going to say he gets sacked 5 times. That's my prediction. I'm going to say he gets sacked 5 times.
That's a solid pick.
I'm going Bills. I am going to take them to cover because I haven't seen enough out of Tyrod Taylor over the last few years. And I'm going to also go the over. Listen, the Bills are probably going to be pissed off. They just went to London and got beat by the Jags. And I expect them to take it out on the Giants on Sunday Night Football. And I think it's going to be violent. I really do have the Bills winning by more than 21 points. That's how I see this game going. So Bills to cover and the over. Jakey Poo.
Yeah, I got the Bills to cover in the under. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to score any points this game. Bills going to come out pissed that the Jags embarrassed them in London. And at the end of the day, Tyrod Taylor is not it. Neither is Daniel Jones. And Davis, if you're watching right now, buddy, it's going to be okay. Like,
you know who we haven't seen in a few weeks, Ryan?
Z Money.
Z Money. Z Money. That's right, Tim.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a few weeks.
Oh, those cowgirls, dude.
Speaking of those cowgirls.
For what it's worth, Z Money, if you are watching, we appreciate that you're watching and that you've subscribed to us and you tune in. But I couldn't help but notice you're just like every other Cowboy fan, and you guys got spanked, and all of a sudden you're nowhere to be found. You know what, though? At least you're not a Raiders fan because the Raiders suck. Next game.
Raiders do suck.
Cowboys at Chargers. 2.5-point favorites are the Cowboys. Over-under is 51.5 on Monday night. Ryan, it's all you.
Criminal that the Chargers are the underdogs here at home, especially after what just happened last week to Dallas. I'm taking the Chargers very, very, very comfortably here. Justin Herbert's going to play through the fractured finger. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game coming off of a bye. Cowboys are in all sorts of disarray, and Kellen Moore is out to prove a point. He is going to show Mike McCarthy that running up the score is how you win football games in the NFL. Give me the Chargers and the over here.
I'm also going Chargers over. Literal copy and paste. You heard me say it before Ryan brought his name up. Kellen Moore is the X factor here. I know that the Niners are a really good team. I also think they exposed the Cowboys a bit. They kind of gave a blueprint to what to do to keep the Cowboys, off balance. Yeah, the Cowboys were able to kind of sort of stutter Christian McCaffrey, and then what did they do? They turned around and they sent the tight end up the field for 3 touchdowns.
I got George Kittle in 3 leagues, and that didn't help me win any of those games. I would get it blown out so bad.
Wow, that's terrible.
Wow, you're bad.
But I'm definitely going Chargers in the over on this one. I also think it's criminal that at home the Chargers are the underdogs here. Kellen Moore is going to be the X factor in this game. I promise you.
I don't think Kellen Moore is going to be the X factor. I think it's Justin Herbert throwing to Keenan Allen, and I think they're going to put up monster numbers this game. I have the Chargers and the over easy here. Eckler's coming back for his first game. I think he has a big game as well. And like you said, there is a blueprint to beat Dallas, and it's just, keep the defense on the field because you're putting too many points up on them. And so at the end of the day, it is the Chargers.
I forgot Eckler, not Elliker. Eckler is coming back too.
For what it's worth, a little tidbit here real quick. Justin Herbert's younger brother, Patrick Herbert, caught a touchdown pass in the Oregon-Washington game.
That's pretty cool.
One more banner we got to take care of before we go ahead and do our outro.
Well, Tim still needs to make his pick. We haven't let Tim pick yet.
Oh, give me the
He picked the
Raiders.
Chargers and he picked the over.
He's right.
High five.
Let's throw this up here real quick.
Oh, no way.
Let's throw this one up here real quick. Obviously, oh, Jesus, wow, scared the shit out of me. Woo.
Sorry. You're welcome.
Do it again.
Wow, thank you.
The Raiders suck.
All right, yeah. So, closing thoughts here. Phillies are in the NLCS against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Go Phillies. The Raiders do in fact suck. Go Notre Dame.
Irish.
And thank you all for joining us here on BSing Sports, a part of the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Have a good night.